Sure, here's the fully rewritten version of your story in natural American storytelling voice, about 1,580 words long, keeping your original structure, plot, and emotional rhythm intact. The first red flag wasn't even a flag, it was my dog coming back from his usual morning run with a damn napkin tied around his neck that said, in Sharpie, "No pets allowed." I'm not kidding. The second sign. Someone doing a mic check that echoed so loud across the lake I thought a concert was being set up in my backyard. The third was the cherry on top, a stranger in yoga pants, a floppy hat, and a glitter-covered clipboard yelling at my kayak because it clashed with the party theme. That's when I knew something insane was going on down at my dock. Now let me paint the picture. I'm standing at my kitchen window, coffee in hand, staring down the slope toward my private dock, the one on my deed, on my land, built by my grandfather with his bare hands back in 72. And what do I see? Tents, fairy lights, a DJ unpacking speakers next to my bait bucket, and in the center of it all a woman who just looked like her name was Karen. You know the type, the haircut, the aura, the vibe. She was backing into a walkie-talkie like she was landing planes, shouting things like, "The arch goes here. The margarita machine over there," like she was building an empire. I walk down slowly, not because I'm scared but because when someone trespasses that confidently, you start questioning if you are the crazy one. She spotted me, squinted like I was hashing her vibe, then casually waved. "Oh. You must be the neighbor. Can you move your truck? The valet needs more room." "Neighbor. Lady, I own this dock." I blinked. "Sorry, who are you?" She gave one of those rich people laughs that somehow sounds more insulting than just being yelled at. "Karen Linton. I live across the lake. We are hosting my daughter's engagement party here." "Here," I repeated, pointing to the actual wood beneath her flip-flopped feet. She nods. "The light is perfect for sunset photos. Your dock is just so rustic." I pulled out my phone, mostly to remind myself this was real. "Mom, this is my dock. What are you doing on it?" She didn't even blink. Just waved at the DJ and said, "Start warming up, I'll handle him." "Handle me." Then she struts over and hits me with what I now call her signature weapon, weaponized confidence. "I spoke to the HOA president," she says, pulling out a laminated paper like it's the Constitution. "He said this shoreline is technically common access. I have a permit." I looked. It was a permission slip from the HOA to use the community dock. "Not my dock. That dock's over by the tennis courts," I said. "This one. This was hand-built by my grandfather in 72. There's literally a plaque right there." She doesn't even glance. "Well," the HOA president said. "I don't care what he said. He doesn't own this land. I do." Her smile twitched just a little. "You're being very negative." "Oh, lady. You haven't seen negative yet." I said, "You're squatting on my dock for a party you never asked permission for." And she dead serious goes, "Well, what do you want me to do? Cancel everything. People flew in from Scottsdale. Not my problem." "It will be if you cause a scene," she said, lowering her voice. "I'll report you." And that was my first taste of the HOA Kool-Aid these people drink. See, I moved to this lake specifically outside the HOA boundary. All the view, none of the drama. But Karen was the drama. Turns out, she's the social chair of the HOA and had just decided my dock was now her personal Pinterest board. I called the HOA president's voicemail. Sent him pictures, no reply. Called the police, they showed up, glanced at her fake permit, shrugged, and said, "Civil matter." Cool. Apparently trespassing is now a matter of interpretation. That night, I sat in my kitchen watching trucks unload crates of champagne and fog machines onto my dock like I was invisible. The next morning, she'd put up a decorative fence around it with a chalkboard sign that said, "Private event, no fishing, no dogs." My blood pressure hit a new personal best. I grabbed a shirt that said, "Dog Security," walked down, and strode into the party like I was born to be there. A waiter stopped me. I told him I was here to refill the koi pond. "There is no koi pond." Karen spotted me and stormed over. "I thought we agreed you wouldn't interfere." "No, you agreed with yourself." She rolled her eyes. "Well, you're ruining the ambience." I looked around: bamboo centerpieces, a DJ booth on top of my tackle box, and a woman sipping sangria under my fish scale thermometer. "Yeah, the ambience died when you packed the margarita machine on my collar." She tried to sweet-talk me. "Why don't you just relax? You'll be in the background of the drone footage we're doing a slow pan at sunset." I walked off before I said something the cops would get involved in. That night, I found a note on my door from the HOA. "Mr. Callahan, please refrain from disruptive behavior during sanctioned events. Further violations may result in fines." I laughed so hard I nearly dislocated a rib. So now it was war. The next day, I started taking photos. Every guest, every delivery, every flamingo floatai. I even set up a wildlife cam in my tree. Sent the footage to the HOA and my lawyer. Still no response. But I knew they saw it because Karen stopped waving. Just scowled. Then came the breaking point. The town fishing tournament, something we've held on my dock for years, was blocked. We showed up to find her guests in matching outfits taking selfies under a balloon arch. When we asked what was going on, one girl giggled. Karen booked this whole section for the weekend. That was it. That night, I sent one final email to the HOA. Since my dock is apparently common space, I'll be hosting an event of my own. No threats. No insults. Just implications. Then I dug into the old files, maps, permits, everything my grandpa kept. Buried in there, a zoning map from 1983 declaring my dock as a private launch zone, which gave me the right to host aquatic events without HOA approval. So I did. I registered the Redwood Invitational Boat Race. I filed the permit, paid the fee, picked a date, even plotted the race route directly through my dock. Then I walked a flyer down to Karen's place where she was sipping rose like a Bond villain. "Afternoon," I said. "Just wanted to give you a heads up about a community event I'm hosting. Big turnout expected. Hope it doesn't interfere with any photo shoots." She didn't even read the flyer. Just marked, "Cute. As long as it's classy." "Oh, it'll be classy," I grinned. "We've got speedboats, paddleboards, maybe even a brass band." Her face fell just a hair. That race. It was glorious. People came in kayaks, in bathtubs, in inflatable dragons. A guy in a canoe took out her flower arch like it owed him money. Another jet skier splashed champagne guest by accident. And Karen. She lost it. Threw a chair into the lake. Screamed at a harpist. Got cited by the sheriff for obstruction and public disturbance. I watched it all with a lemonade in hand, sitting on my dock like the king of petty revenge. After that chaos, the HOA backpedaled. Issued a statement about event policy reviews. Karen stopped showing her face. Her dock stayed empty. And a week later, I kid you not, she listed her house for sale. Guess the lake wasn't big enough for the both of us. So, what do you think? Did I go too far? Or was it exactly what she deserved? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to know where's the line between standing up for yourself and becoming the villain in someone else's story. And hey, if you've ever had an HOA horror story, this is your chance to vent. Let it rip.